From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on the Noon News. I'm Diane Parker. It is Election Day, and that has Montanans headed to the polls. We'll also have the latest on gang violence in Billings, but first, let's take a look at some of the big races across the state. In Billings, the $143 million Parks bond takes center stage. Funding for this much-debated package would include upgrades to 9 parks, 6 trails, and a large rec center near Amen Park. The bond would cost just over $50 annually in property taxes for every $100,000 of value of a Billings home. And as of yesterday afternoon, about half of the ballots mailed out in Yellowstone County, some 28,000 have been returned. Remember, no polling places are open today in Billings, but you can still drop off your ballot between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. at the Yellowstone County Courthouse. And let's head to Bozeman, where MTN's Edgar Cidio explains what you should know in case you haven't voted yet.
Some Gallatin County voters are now getting ready to decide on a new mayor and some ballot questions that could raise taxes in certain parts of the county.
It's actually seemed a little slow. Ballot returns have kind of been trickling in.
Gallatin County Clerk and Recorder Eric Samrod says that this year's elections have been quieter, and with an all mail-in ballot this year, his office is making sure that voters don't have the same mail issues, including slow delivery like in the past.
Working with them closely, and it's been going quite smooth this time around, so I'm pretty confident that things have been getting where they're supposed to.
With just over 13,000 ballots returned as of Monday, turnout is around 20%, and ballot counting began Monday afternoon.
Yeah, we'll run some ballots through the machine this afternoon. It has to shut down before 5 o'clock today.
Since not everyone in the county is voting, Samrod expects fewer crowds than in 2022.
You might have a 15-minute wait or something like that, but I don't anticipate the 3-hour wait tomorrow.
Samrod says that voters will also now be able to see their ballot status once it's been dropped off.
To check and see if we have received and accepted their ballot, they can check My Voter page on the Secretary of State's website.
Voters now have until 8 p.m. on Tuesday to make sure that their ballot is in and counted for the election. In Bozeman, Edgar Cidio, MTN News.
Meanwhile, in Broadview, voters are considering an ordinance to ban marijuana sales within city limits. Recreational businesses can legally operate in Yellowstone County. In fact, 57 have opened since voters approved marijuana ballot initiatives in 2020. But since then, several individual cities and towns, including Billings, have voted to prohibit sales within their boundaries. Broadview would join that list tonight if their ordinance passes. Well, a hot watched item today in Great Falls is the public safety levy. Currently, Great Falls Fire Rescue, Great Falls Police Department, and the Municipal Court Services are lacking in funding. According to some city officials, it's been more than 50 years since Great Falls voters have passed public safety funding, and since then, the city has grown by 44%, resulting in difficulties for public safety departments.
I would say to the community, what do you want your public safety to look like? And there are consequences for voting for it, and there's consequences for not voting for it.
But at the end of the day, all I can do is educate you, give you the information you need to make the best informed decision you can, and you have to vote with what your gut tells you.
If you wish to register or drop your ballot in person, you still have time. The Cascade County Elections Office is open until 8 o'clock tonight. The St. Ignatius Rural Fire Department is asking voters for a levy of just over $27,000 annually for 7 years. If approved, the funds will pay for equipment, maintenance for the volunteer fire department, including safety equipment and vehicle replacement. This same levy was voted for in 1997 as a 20-year commitment, then again in 2017 for a 7-year commitment. The chairman of the St. Ignatius Rural Fire Department says this vote will be a continuation of the same levy.
What we want people to know, it's not a new tax, that it is we're asking for a continuation. I just hope the people recognize the need for the department. I think they do, and they've always supported us before. So we're just asking for their continued support.
And if you are voting in St. Ignatius today, you'll need to drop off your ballot at the Lake County Elections Office in Polson. Now, we'll also be tracking results for mayor's races in Miles City and Red Lodge, and 5 city council races in Billings, and an emergency management services bond in Laurel to address a shortage of first responders across Yellowstone County. The city of Laurel proposed the $450,000 mill levy to help combat its emergency medical staffing shortage. The levy would make room for an additional 3 to 5 full-time ambulance workers for the service. For the owners of a $200,000 home, the levy would cost about $11.25 per month. Municipal elections are happening in the Flathead. We are following the mayor's race in Missoula. In addition, the Whitefish Resort tax and several city council races are on the ballot. A big portion of this election is for Kalispell City Council, where the makeup of the city's leadership could change. There are races for both Whitefish and Columbia Falls City Councils, too. Staying in Whitefish, the resort tax is making another appearance before voters, this time to reallocate a portion of the funds to community housing.
Hey, good Tuesday afternoon, everyone. We have one area of low pressure leaving eastern Montana right now, pushing into northern North Dakota, also into the prairie provinces of Canada. Some light rain and snow showers trying to fall, but we actually have temperatures that are a little bit warmer than average already at the noon hour for much of the state, especially central and eastern Montana. Plenty of 50s, 55 degrees in Sheridan, Wyoming, 48 degrees in Bozeman, and 56 degrees in Billings. However, it is coming at a cost. We have a lot of gusty wind all over the state. Plenty of wind gusts between 25 and 45 miles an hour. And we are not done with the windy weather either. More chances for that going forward. I'll have a complete 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen is officially seeking another 4-year term, filing campaign paperwork this week. The Republican from Culbertson was Roosevelt County Attorney and Speaker of the Montana House prior to being elected in 2020. If he's re-elected in 2024, Knudsen says public safety will remain his top priority, and he tells us he wants to continue a strong response to drugs, human trafficking, and other major crimes. Up next, Jason is in with another check of the day's weather, plus gang violence in Billings and where it's stemming from. We'll have the very latest after the break.
The MTN Noon News continues right after this.